It's the Poling Pregame Report, brought to you exclusively by EMS and Harvesting, ready when your crops are, and 97.5 KLMX The Bear. Every week, myself, Anna Haston, along with David Daney and guests, will chat with coaches, meet with players, and bring you the inside scoop on what excitement is to come during this week's Yellowjacket varsity football face-off. Catch the Poling Pregame Report on air Fridays at 10 a.m. and online noon Fridays at klmx.us/sports. Get your questions answered on air or send us your comments and or well wishes at klmx.sports@gmail.com. It's the Poling Pregame Report. Now let's talk some ball.
Welcome everybody to episode 6 of the Poling Pregame Report. I'm Dave Daney. I'm here with Coach Montoya, Jonavan, Hidlago, and Jerry Archuleta. All right, guys, last week's game. I'm going to cover some stats, but that first quarter was rough, I got to say. Like, that first quarter was, it was killing a lot of us.
Yeah, it's brutal to watch, too.
But just real quick for the viewers out there, stats. Yellowjackets right now, 5-0. It's got to feel great, right?
Yes, sir. Most important.
5-0. Most important, right? 5-0. When's the last time you guys were 5-0?
It's been a while.
Probably before you were even born, huh? No. 2015. It's still a long time ago, right? Fort Sumner, your opponent though, they're 3-0, so they're undefeated as well, right? They haven't played as many games yet, but they're still undefeated. And I was looking at some of their stats, and they're not that bad. So it might be a good challenge coming up for you guys on Friday. Some individual stats, right? So we have receiving. Isaac Katana is at 94 yards per game right now. Jerry, you're at 144.4 yards rushing per game. And Hidlago, see, I didn't even know you guys were showing up today. These are just stats I pulled out. You have 157.6 yards per game passing. So that's some really nice stats, right?
Yeah, pretty balanced.
I mean, I've never followed high school football before, so I don't know, but it sounds to me like a really, really high number. I don't know if that's like a normal.
Oh, yeah. I think our passing yards are definitely a lot higher than they've been in a long time, probably. But we haven't thrown, Clayton as a whole hasn't thrown the ball a whole lot. In general, it's usually ground and pound, which we still like that mentality, but it's nice to have that balance where we can. If you're gonna really commit to stopping our run, we could hurt you in the pass too.
And so that's good, right?
It's huge. It's really nice because a lot of our stats are just big chunk plays, you know. So we're taking advantage.
Especially with this guy, right?
Oh yeah.
But national rankings. So we got 2 players on the team that are actually making the top 25 in national rankings. The first one is Isaac Quintana. He placed 23rd in receiving, national. And Jerry, you placed number 7th for interceptions. You placed 7th nationally for interceptions.
Yeah.
So I think for a small town high school football team, I think that's some pretty good stuff to look at and view, right? New Mexico rankings though, we got you at number 2. Know who's beating you out?
Tatum quarterback.
Tatum, yeah. Not by much though. Not by much.
He also threw more passes.
He's got like 46 yards on you, right? Yeah. So it's pretty close. Jerry, you're number 1 right now rushing. Number 2 is who? Do you know?
No.
Logan.
Oh.
So Logan. But that dude's like 300. Just to give you an idea of how well Jerry's doing, like the next closest person to him is 300 yards behind him right now. So like he is smoking it. If you have not watched the games, you need to get out there and watch these games, I'm telling you. And then of course we have Isaac again. He's number 2 for receiving with 470 yards. And number 1 also from Tatum. So Tatum passing, receiving. That's the number 1, and they're the last game of the season, right?
Yes, sir.
Tatum is the last game of the season for you guys. District game as well, right? In Tatum too. So that's that'll be a fun one, right?
Yeah.
So right now you guys are starting this week against Fort Sumner, right?
Yes, sir.
First district game.
Yes, sir.
What's the feeling, Coach?
Excited.
And then we'll go to them.
I'm really excited. We got a lot of momentum going in. Started the season, I think, exactly how we should. And now we got a great opportunity to figure out exactly where we're at. All of our goals are in front of us right now. The number 1 goal we had at the start of the year as a team was win district. So if we win district, it sets us up for everything else we want to do. And I'm pretty sure I've said that before, but it's just re-emphasized. It starts Friday night. Well, it started Monday with practice, and getting ready for them and just breaking down film, studying them, looking at tendencies, and then Friday night, hopefully it all comes together, you know.
And I was looking at the 4 district teams that you guys have to play, and they all seem pretty legit. Like they seem like
very tough.
I feel like they're going to present a different challenge than these first 5, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What have you been looking at?
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the first 5 games have done great, preparing us, allowing us to kind of work through some mistakes, allowing us to really start to gel. And I think we're again getting better and better and better. You know.
I'm glad you brought up mistakes.
Yeah.
Last week's game, first quarter, it was a very defensive game. We'll say that. So those folks who weren't able to watch the game or catch it, first quarter was a very defensive game. It stretched like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Like the first quarter went like an hour long. It was pretty long. But the mistakes that I saw, not just in the first quarter, throughout the whole game, you guys had a lot of 15-yard personal foul penalties.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do you keep these guys focused when they're making big penalties like that? Because that's not a 5-yard, okay, we can recover from this. 15 yards could be the difference between a win or a loss, right? A lot.
Obviously we remind them how to do stuff during Monday practice, you know, and so hopefully that helps them out. We've honestly done pretty well, considering we had a whole like holdings, face masks, things where you're trying to play hard.
Yeah.
Those we don't emphasize as much, but if it's just blatant block, like illegal blocks or blatant not doing what you're supposed to do, it's definitely emphasized.
Frustrating for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the big ones was a hold, and that's kind of we're not really as mad, but we are upset because I feel like if effort's just a little better, I feel like maybe you get in the right spot, we get in the right spot, and that 60-yard touchdown we had, and I think on our first play, maybe the second drive actually, first play of the second drive,
quarter,
first play of the second drive that we scored. And it got called back on that holding.
That's right. I remember now. You're right. And that hurts, right?
Yeah. That's tough. When anytime you get big plays, especially touchdowns, and you get them called back, it's demoralizing, you know. But the kids are really, really just. I think mentally they've come a long way, you know. And that's one of the things we struggled with a little last year was things went bad. We kind of allowed it to snowball and just kind of roll and get bigger and bigger.
Because I was going to ask you, what changed between the first quarter and the second quarter? That first quarter seemed kind of slow, very defensive game, and then the second quarter, all of a sudden, that offense just blew up. And was it a matter of the offense blowing up in your mind, or was the defense on the other team just not carrying it?
A little more focus, a little better execution. I mean, it's tough when you watch film because film never lies, you know. And we're one block away, we're one step away from just huge plays a lot of the time. That could the wrong step or maybe hesitating a little bit is a difference between big chunk plays and maybe gains of 1, 2, or even tackles for loss, you know. So we really emphasize you never know what play is going to be that big play. There's typically 4 or 5 plays in a football game, and obviously they all matter, but that really stick out, you know. So you never know which ones those are ever going to be. So you got to kind of treat every play like, hey, this is a big play right here. This is going to be it, you know. So it's kind of the next play mentality that we've always been preaching, that the boys have really clung on to and really taken pride in. That, hey, just if something goes wrong, let's get it fixed. We can't let it snowball, you know. And it's something that we've really worked on, and I think we've really improved on, especially from last year.
Awesome. Well, going into this first district game, what's your approach going to be? Is it going to are you changing it up a little bit since it is a district game? Have you changed anything? Or are you focusing in a different area, or let the folks know exactly, like, is anything going to be different, or are you just going to?
I think our motto. We still got to control the run game. I feel like if we can run the ball, it sets us up for everything else, just like any other game, you know. But yeah, we have some things we haven't shown, some different plays, some different formations. That's what's been really good about these first 5 games so far. We haven't shown everything we've had. Yeah, we've had it in, we practiced, but we haven't showed anywhere near.
Yeah, I thought I was going to see a kick. I thought I was going to see a punt or a field goal kick this past game, but it didn't happen. I thought we were going to see one.
Yeah.
You
No, not yet, I don't think. But again, that's just, we've set ourselves up in a good spot to kind of bluff, you know, like in poker. We have our hand, and we're not even. I don't feel like we played our best hand yet. You know.
Gotcha. That's good. And what do you think Fort Sumner's greatest weakness is? What do you think you're going to be able to capitalize with on them? What do you think? I mean, I'm sure they know what theirs is, and they're going to try and shore it up, right, and make sure it's not there. But based on your opinion, what do you think their greatest weakness is, and how are you going to approach that?
They're very aggressive, which is a weakness and a strength. Sometimes, if we could catch them being overly aggressive, that could turn into those big chunk plays that we're.
So the aggressiveness will play into your.
Yeah.
You're really good at that.
Yeah. So
getting the jump sides on that snap count, right?
Yeah, just trying to use their aggression, their over-aggression against them, and kind of instead of just if we could just get them playing on their heels for just a half a second, you know, that's all. That's a huge advantage.
And what do you think their strength is? What's their?
They're aggressive. They're tough.
Okay,
You know,
so that's
they
their strength,
play
their
hard.
weakness.
Yeah. They're well coached. They play hard.
Okay.
They're a good team. So
Do they cause a lot of penalties with their aggression? Did you notice that in any of the game tapes?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's quite a few penalties, and part of it is they're just aggressive, you know.
Okay.
And part of it's some of that playing hard type penalties, face mask holdings,
Got it.
blocking after the whistle, stuff like that, you know. So they're aggressive. Sometimes they're overly aggressive, you know,
Which could be a problem for our team as well because it's a home game, right? So when we get a home game, we're usually a little more pumped up, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
we want to show good in front of our hometown,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm sure that's probably a talking point in your
Yeah,
practice is
yeah.
hey, make sure you maintain, right?
Yeah.
And for you guys, I'm gonna ask you first.
Okay.
What's your greatest improvement since the season began, going into the district games?
My greatest improvement is probably like my passes, you know what I mean? Because I've gotten better at stepping up into the pocket, putting the ball more on the money, and I read better now, especially from those first 2 games. So I think I made a pretty big improvement about how I've been playing.
Okay. And you, Jared? What do
I
you
think
yours is?
my blocking is going better because we have like these passing plays, and I just get that person that's off the edge really good, and I make good passes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's your greatest challenge? What's the biggest thing you got to work on right now?
Finding the gap, because there's
Okay.
times where I could have cut it inside, but I ran outside. So I just got to read the gap better.
Okay. And you, Hidlago, what's your greatest challenge right now? Or do you think you got it all tapped? You're good.
No, I don't have that. Probably my greatest challenge right now is just when I scramble, I can't get good yards. I get good yards, but I don't get.
I was gonna say you get good yards because your stats are looking pretty good.
Yeah, but there's moves I need to make better, and
Okay.
I got to get better at running and reading a little bit too. Like on the option plays, I got to get better at that. But we've been working on that all week, so.
Okay. Well, I can tell you from a viewer, I can see like one of my points that I like. I think in the pocket when you got a lot of pressure on you, I think you do pretty good. I mean, considering
Yeah,
we
he's
got
definitely
folks.
got a lot better. That's what I would say he's gotten better at.
Yeah.
He number one, he's recognizing and he's reading kind of what he was saying of where are they bringing pressure, where's it coming from, where's my hot route,
Yeah.
you know, and he's gotten better at that. And number two, he's gotten better at being more confident, staying in the pocket, and
Well, some of that
making
has
a better throw maybe when pressure's in his face.
some of that has to do with having a lot of trust in your line, right?
Yeah.
Trusting that your line's going to keep those guys away from you, that you can stay in that pocket that extra second or that extra half a second.
Yeah.
You know that your receiver can get open or whatever it may be, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's got to be a lot of trust on that line as well, right?
Yes, sir.
What are your feelings about going into this game, both of you?
I'm excited.
First,
Yeah.
excited,
Excited.
confident, real confident. Like, do you think it's going to be a? I mean, I know it's early. You don't want to jinx anything, but
I think it's
you
gonna
feel
be a
real
good game.
confident.
It's gonna,
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be a challenge, but I think it's gonna be a good challenge. It's gonna show us where we're at, and I believe we're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, do you guys have anything you want to say to your fans? I don't have any more questions for you guys. I know they love hearing you. So.
Come support, watch us play Fort Sumner Foxes.
Yes.
Coach, you got anything?
Same thing. We appreciate the support. Continue. I mean, we traveled real well. We always enjoy it brings us energy. You guys are very just as important as us. And last home game was awesome. And I hope this one's even better because this one's even more important. And we need all the support we can get. It's going to be a great game, I think.
Awesome. Thanks.
sir.
Do the fans have to wear anything
Oh, yeah.
this time?
I think it's like pajama
You have to wear
day.
pajamas.
Hold on, yeah,
What?
we'll take it back to the kids for that.
On Friday night, wear your pajamas. Let's put the foxes to sleep.
Oh, that's the theme. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I like that. I can't say that I'll be there in my pajamas though. So I don't know. You guys might be embarrassed with my superhero pajamas. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank everybody for joining us on the Poling Pregame Report. And again, if you have any questions for the coaches, we didn't have any this time, but if you have any questions for the coaches or the players, email us at klmx.sports@gmail.com. Almost said at FM. klmx.sports@gmail.com, and we will get that question answered. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Awesome.